Did Shedeur Sanders just pull off the boldest move in sports history? From falling in the NFL draft to signing a jaw-dropping $175 million deal in China, fans are stunned, media is confused, and Deion Sanders dropped cryptic posts that have everyone questioning what's really going on behind the scenes. The 2025 NFL Draft was supposed to be a moment of triumph for Shedeur Sanders, one of the most hyped quarterback prospects in years. Fans expected him to go early, maybe even in the first or second round. But when the picks started rolling, the unexpected happened. Shedeur didn't hear his name called until the 5th round, 144th overall. For many, it was shocking. Analysts were scrambling to explain it, social media exploded with hot takes, and casual fans were left questioning what went wrong. How could a player with Shedeur's talent, legacy, and highlight reel tumble that far? The answers weren't simple. Some say it was due to the politics of NFL teams managing salary caps, prioritizing established veterans, or hedging on safer picks. Others pointed to Shedeur's unconventional style and perceived lack of readiness for pro-level schemes. But the truth runs deeper. Shedeur had options that went far beyond just the NFL. He wasn't tied to a traditional path, and that's something most pundits failed to recognize. While the draft spotlight shined elsewhere, Shedeur was quietly considering a path that would maximize both his career and earning potential in ways the NFL couldn't offer immediately. Even during the draft itself, whispers circulated. Fans debated whether teams undervalued him because of his father, Deion Sanders, and the media circus surrounding the family. Rumors about off-field distractions and focus issues only added fuel to the fire. Some mock drafts had him going much higher, so seeing him fall felt surreal. And yet Shedeur remained composed, aware that the draft is only one step in a much larger journey. Behind the scenes, his team was already weighing options that went beyond football. The NFL route, while prestigious, came with risks, injuries, franchise politics, and restrictive contracts. The conventional route wasn't the only way to build a legacy, and Shedeur seemed ready to challenge the expectations. He had proven in high school and college that he could perform under pressure, adapt to coaching changes, and thrive despite external chaos. Now, the draft shock was just the opening act in a story that would take him far beyond the American football field. Fans might have seen disappointment that day, but for Shedeur Sanders, the draft was a turning point, a moment that highlighted both the volatility of the NFL and the hidden opportunities waiting beyond traditional paths. What seemed like a fall from grace was really the beginning of something far bigger, a bold choice that would force the sports world to rethink how top-tier athletes manage their careers. Just when the NFL draft chaos was settling, the sports world got hit with a bombshell. Shedeur Sanders wasn't just exploring football, he was being courted by the Chinese Basketball Association with an unprecedented offer. Reports claim the CBA put forward a fully guaranteed $175 million contract over 5 years. That's right, $175 million for basketball overseas, more than most rookies would ever dream of earning in the NFL, and with zero risk of career-altering injuries from 300-pound defenders. First, fans thought it was a rumor, the kind of speculation that blows up on social media without confirmation. But credible journalists with ties to the league started reporting the same story. Then came Deion Sanders' cryptic posts on Instagram. Snapshots of him and Shedeur, big smiles, a basketball emoji, a Chinese flag emoji, no explanation needed. Just intrigue, speculation, and endless questions. The sports community couldn't stop buzzing. Was Shedeur really switching sports? Did he just walk away from the NFL? Coach Prime's reaction suggested there was far more going on than anyone realized. The offer wasn't just about money. Sources close to the family revealed that Deion Sanders didn't just approve, he actively encouraged Shedeur to consider it. The deal came with perks most athletes in the US can't even dream of: full brand control, endorsement opportunities, and a global platform to expand influence beyond the court. Suddenly, this wasn't just about basketball, it was about building a worldwide legacy. Analysts scrambled to react. NFL pundits questioned his commitment, some claiming he was avoiding competition. Basketball fans were skeptical, wondering if Shedeur could really compete professionally. But insiders argue the Chinese league had done its homework. They wouldn't guarantee $175 million if they didn't believe he could perform, attract fans, and drive merchandise sales. Shedeur wasn't running from competition, he was taking control of his career in a way very few athletes ever do. This moment marks a turning point in how athletes think globally. Instead of accepting restrictive rookie contracts or risking injury, Shedeur had a golden ticket: cash, freedom, and influence. The NFL might have been the traditional path, but this was a strategic play that could redefine athlete empowerment. And Coach Prime, he was right there backing his son, turning what looked like a shock into a calculated move for long-term impact. But that wasn't the full picture. Before the $175 million deal, few really grasped Shedeur Sanders' dual sport talent. Most fans only saw him as a quarterback, the heir to a legendary NFL lineage. But behind the scenes, he was equally dominant on the basketball court. High school stats reveal a player who could control the game, with precision passing, clutch shooting, and court awareness that had Division I coaches scrambling to recruit him. Shedeur's choice to focus on football wasn't a rejection of basketball, it was a calculated move. Legacy, clarity of path, and the influence of his father all shaped that decision. Yet the passion never faded. Sources claim he continued working with elite basketball trainers and coaches, honing his skills quietly while tearing it up on the football field. This dedication set the foundation for the overseas deal, years of preparation hidden from the public eye. Deion Sanders' guidance played a critical role. He's always emphasized thinking beyond the conventional path. Just as he carved a rare dual-sport career in the NFL and MLB, he now saw a chance for Shedeur to craft his own unique journey. Deion noticed what most missed: talent alone isn't enough. Timing, strategy, and control over your brand matter equally. Shedeur's basketball prowess, combined with his football reputation and social media presence, made him a perfect storm for global impact. The Sanders family approach flips the traditional script. Instead of following the expected NFL trajectory, they evaluate every opportunity for long-term growth. Shedeur's basketball skills weren't just a hobby, they were a strategic asset. By keeping those skills sharp, he positioned himself to command influence, exposure, and unmatched financial reward. It's a story of patience, dual focus, and foresight. And it gets even more compelling. Shedeur's time in football gave him discipline, resilience, and a competitive edge. Those lessons now translate seamlessly to basketball. Observers suggest that his football IQ, reading defenses, anticipating moves, enhances his court vision in ways most rookies could never match. He's not just a multi-sport athlete, he's a multi-dimensional competitor ready to take on new challenges on a global stage. But what happens when all that preparation meets real international competition? That's when the conversation quietly shifted. Shedeur Sanders' story isn't just about football or basketball, it's about mastering both at an elite level. While the world watched him rise as a quarterback, few realized that the young Sanders was quietly dominating another arena, the basketball court. During his high school years, he wasn't just good, he was exceptional. Point guards from top Division I programs were reportedly tracking his every move, impressed by his court awareness, shooting accuracy, and relentless competitive drive. Yet he chose football, guided by legacy, opportunity, and the clarity his father provided. But stepping away from basketball didn't mean abandoning it. Sources close to the Sanders family reveal that Shedeur consistently worked with top-tier basketball trainers, building skills that most athletes couldn't maintain while simultaneously preparing for professional football. This dual-sport dedication created a rare blend of athleticism, agility, and endurance from football paired with finesse, timing, and court vision from basketball. It wasn't a hobby, it was a hidden arsenal. And that hidden arsenal is exactly what made him irresistible to international leagues. Deion Sanders' influence cannot be overstated. As a legendary dual-sport athlete himself, one of the rare few to compete in both the NFL and MLB, Deion has always looked beyond conventional paths. He understands that raw talent is only part of the equation. Branding, timing, and strategic positioning matter just as much. Watching Shedeur navigate both sports, Deion recognized an opportunity that many traditional coaches and analysts overlooked. His son could turn the global stage into a launchpad for unprecedented influence. This isn't just about a lucrative deal, it's about strategy. By keeping basketball in his repertoire, Shedeur positioned himself to maximize every opportunity, both on the court and off. He's not merely transferring sports, he's leveraging a dual-sport identity that amplifies marketability. His football experience gives him resilience, leadership, and the mental toughness to handle pressure. That same mindset translates to the basketball court, allowing him to anticipate plays, read opponents, and act decisively under scrutiny. It's also a lesson in foresight, where many athletes follow a single predictable path, college football to the NFL. Shedeur's approach challenges the system. He's building a multi-dimensional career, preparing for international exposure, endorsement deals, and long-term brand value. That $175 million deal in China isn't just a paycheck, it's recognition of talent, preparation, and strategic thinking cultivated over years of balancing two sports at high levels. And it's this combination of talent, training, and vision that turns heads. Critics may question his basketball legitimacy, but the truth is undeniable. Shedeur Sanders is more than an athlete, he's a calculated force, blending legacy, skill, and foresight into a career trajectory that defies conventional expectations. Every move he makes now sets a precedent for what athletes can achieve when they dare to think beyond the obvious. As the world begins to watch him transition from quarterback to basketball star, one thing is clear: this is more than a career, it's a statement. And that statement is just getting started. When you look at this story from Deion Sanders' perspective, it's impossible not to see the bigger picture. Most fans focus on the $175 million deal, the shocking switch from football to basketball, or the controversy online. But Deion sees strategy, legacy, and opportunity. He's not just a proud father, he's a mentor, a tactician, and someone who's been through the highs and lows of professional sports. Deion knows how leagues operate, how contracts are structured, and how talent is often undervalued. He understands the politics, the franchise tags, the rookie limitations, and he's watching all of it from a perspective most people will never fully grasp. Deion's excitement about Shedeur isn't just about money. It's about timing, leverage, and building a brand that transcends a single sport. He's watching his son make a calculated move, one that maximizes financial security, personal freedom, and global influence all at once. Shedeur isn't just taking a contract, he's claiming control over his own narrative. In China, he's not just a player, he's a star, a brand, and a symbol of athlete empowerment. And Deion, he's guiding every step of the way, knowing that this kind of decision can define a legacy for generations. Fans often overlook one crucial point: Deion Sanders has always challenged conventions. During his own career, he broke barriers, playing both NFL and MLB at elite levels, a feat few could even imagine attempting. That mindset of thinking beyond the conventional path is exactly what he's instilling in Shedeur. Deion isn't pressuring his son to follow the traditional NFL route. He's empowering him to find the most impactful way to succeed, not just in sports, but as a global brand. Every cryptic social media post, every subtle message, every headline he shares, it's all calculated to amplify excitement, maintain intrigue, and position Shedeur as a player who operates on a league of his own. But it's not just strategy, it's protection. Deion knows how quickly careers can derail due to injuries, politics, or mismanagement. He's seen the pitfalls that many young quarterbacks fall into, and he's determined to ensure Shedeur avoids them. By guiding him toward basketball in China, he's giving his son a platform that carries minimal physical risk, total creative freedom, and unmatched financial upside. Shedeur isn't stepping away from football because of fear, he's stepping into opportunity with a safety net few athletes can access. And Deion's role goes beyond mentorship. It's about optics, influence, and signaling a new era for elite athletes. He's showing the world that conventional routes aren't the only path to success. When the media criticizes or fans doubt, Deion remains unshaken. He understands that Shedeur's move is revolutionary, not reckless. By supporting his son fully, Deion is making a statement: athlete careers can be self-directed, globally minded, and financially strategic. Ultimately, Deion Sanders' perspective is about vision. He sees beyond the headlines, beyond the drama, and beyond the skeptics. To him, this isn't just a contract, it's the start of something bigger. A new blueprint for athletes, a legacy that blends sports, business, and global influence, and a clear message that the Sanders family doesn't just play the game, they redefine it. As soon as news broke that Shedeur Sanders had inked a $175 million guaranteed deal with the Chinese Basketball League, the critics came out in full force. Social media exploded with comments claiming he was running from competition, that he couldn't make it in the NFL, and that this move was some kind of gimmick. Analysts questioned his decision-making, fans debated his priorities, and countless threads argued whether he was throwing away a football legacy for a foreign payday. But here's the thing: when you dig beneath the noise, most of these criticisms don't hold up. First, let's tackle the idea that Shedeur is avoiding competition. Anyone who's followed his football career knows that this kid has faced pressure from day one. He's been under the brightest lights, performing in front of scouts, coaches, and massive crowds. Every move he makes is analyzed, scrutinized, and sometimes unfairly judged. He's battled through 6 different coordinators, adapted to new systems, and consistently leveled up. If running from competition were in his nature, there's no way he would have excelled at the top tier of college football, let alone attract attention from multiple professional leagues. The move to China doesn't signal fear, it signals confidence. He's taking on a professional league abroad where he can shine on his own terms while still proving himself as an elite athlete. Next, the claim that he's not a genuine basketball player is equally misguided. Shedeur has a dual sport background that very few athletes can match. In high school, he dominated on the basketball court, drawing the attention of Division I programs. He didn't abandon the sport entirely. He continued honing his skills privately, training with top coaches while also pursuing football. The Chinese Basketball League isn't investing $175 million in someone without proven ability. They've done their homework. They know he has the talent, work ethic, and star power to elevate their league. This isn't a gamble on a random name, it's a calculated investment in a player who can deliver on and off the court. Then there's the argument that the Chinese league itself is less legitimate. Critics love to compare it to the NBA as if that alone determines worth. But the CBA is no minor operation. It's fiercely competitive with professional athletes, dedicated fans, and substantial international investment. Former NBA players have found success there both on the court and financially. To dismiss the league as a joke is to ignore the strategic appeal. Shedeur gets a fully guaranteed contract, zero risk from NFL-style injuries, and the freedom to build his brand globally. For a young athlete, that combination is revolutionary. Finally, the naysayers miss the bigger picture. This is about more than sports. It's about personal agency, financial empowerment, and global branding. Shedeur's critics see only the short-term headlines, not the long-term strategy. This move allows him to expand his influence, secure endorsements, and create opportunities that most NFL rookies couldn't even dream of. And through it all, Deion Sanders' guidance ensures that every step is deliberate, every move strategic, and every opportunity maximized. So when you hear the doubters online, remember this. Shedeur Sanders isn't dodging challenges or taking shortcuts. He's redefining what it means to be an elite athlete in today's world. He's proving that competition isn't confined to one league, one sport, or one country. And most importantly, he's showing that calculated risks, backed by skill, determination, and vision, can rewrite the rules entirely. The critics, they're just background noise in a story that's far bigger than they can imagine. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Shedeur Sanders isn't just making a move for money or a new challenge. He's rewriting the playbook on what it means to be an elite athlete in the 21st century. This isn't about football or basketball in isolation. It's about control, strategy, and global influence. By heading to the Chinese Basketball League, he's stepping onto a stage with over 1 billion potential fans, unlocking opportunities most American athletes can only dream about. The sheer scale of the market is staggering. Think about it: exposure to a completely new audience, potential sponsorship deals worth tens of millions, and a chance to establish a brand that transcends any single sport. That's not luck, that's strategy. The financial aspect is obvious. $175 million guaranteed is jaw-dropping. But what really makes this move remarkable isn't the headline figure, it's the flexibility it provides. Shedeur isn't boxed in by franchise tags, rookie contracts, or team politics. He has the freedom to shape his career, leverage his market value, and explore endorsements, media appearances, and business ventures while actively playing. This is a level of autonomy rarely seen for athletes his age, especially rookies. And that's where Deion Sanders' genius comes into play. Coach Prime has always understood that the traditional path, waiting for the NFL or NBA to dictate terms, doesn't maximize potential. He's guiding Shedeur to carve a unique path, one that blends sport, personal branding, and entrepreneurship. Consider the long-term ripple effects. This isn't just about Shedeur Sanders, it's about setting a precedent. Within 5 years, we could see a wave of top-tier American athletes bypassing conventional leagues, chasing global deals, and monetizing their value on their own terms. Shedeur becomes the trailblazer, the template for athlete empowerment. The conversation around contracts, endorsements, and career strategy could shift entirely. Suddenly, American leagues may no longer control the narrative. They'll have to compete for talent in a world where athletes hold the leverage. And the most fascinating part? Shedeur can always return. Whether he wants to step back into football or even the NBA later, he's building a platform that gives him unmatched negotiating power. Let's talk influence. Shedeur isn't just playing basketball, he's building a global persona. Millions of followers are already invested in the Sanders brand. His name carries credibility, charisma, and crossover appeal. By performing in China, he's planting his flag in a massive international market, cultivating fans who may never watch an NFL game but will know Shedeur Sanders. That global recognition alone is worth more than any rookie contract in the US. And when he pairs that exposure with endorsements and social media influence, he's creating a self-sustaining empire. This isn't just sports, it's modern-day athlete entrepreneurship, and it's a game changer. Critics might argue this is risky, that he's abandoning tradition, or that China isn't the real stage. But let's be real, risk is part of every championship-level decision. Shedeur isn't avoiding challenges, he's embracing a new kind of challenge, one that tests skill, adaptability, and business acumen simultaneously. And in doing so, he's proving a crucial lesson. Elite athletes don't have to be confined to old-school paths. The rules are changing, and he's already ahead of the curve. Finally, the Sanders family dynamic adds a unique layer. Deion Sanders isn't just cheering from the sidelines, he's mentoring, guiding, and providing the strategic insight that turns raw talent into a lasting legacy. It's not just about the money or the fame. It's about crafting a story, shaping a brand, and redefining what it means to succeed in sports today. Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing a game overseas, he's setting up a blueprint that could influence a generation of athletes, proving that opportunity, vision, and courage can completely change the trajectory of a career. The takeaway: this isn't a detour, it's a masterstroke. Shedeur Sanders is redefining competition, monetization, and global branding. He's standing firm in his worth, breaking conventions, and showing that the future of athlete empowerment isn't determined by leagues, it's determined by visionaries willing to take the leap. And if you thought this story was just about basketball, think again. This is bigger than any sport. This is about strategy, legacy, and the evolution of what it means to be unstoppable. So let's zoom out and take a step back. What Shedeur Sanders has just done isn't simply a career move, it's a statement. In a world where young athletes are often told to follow the traditional path, to wait for their NFL or NBA moment, Shedeur said, "Not today." He didn't just make a financial decision, he made a strategic declaration that athletes can and should seize control of their own destiny. Think about million guaranteed in China, endorsements on top, and the freedom to expand his personal brand globally. That's not a rookie playing it safe. That's a rising star turning the rules upside down. And the fascinating part? He did it with his father, Deion Sanders, actively guiding, mentoring, and shaping this move every step of the way. This isn't a detour from football, it's a calculated masterstroke. Critics will say he's avoiding competition, that he's stepping away from the NFL, that China isn't the real stage, but those opinions miss the bigger picture. Shedeur isn't running from anything. He's taking his skills, his brand, and his influence to a platform that exponentially multiplies his reach. He's creating a global persona that transcends sport, leveraging fame, family legacy, and social influence to craft a career path that few have ever dared to explore. This is athlete empowerment in action, where control, timing, and vision become as critical as talent on the field or court. Consider the precedent this sets. Within the next 5 years, the landscape of professional sports could be radically different. More elite athletes will look beyond domestic leagues, exploring international opportunities, building global brands, and challenging traditional gatekeepers. The old-school sports media may throw shade, downplay the achievement, or question legitimacy, but Shedeur is planting a flag for the future. He's demonstrating that there's more than one way to dominate a career, more than one way to leave a lasting legacy. And here's the kicker: he can always return. The door to American sports remains wide open. Shedeur, not locking himself in, he's opening doors that others might not even see yet. Deion Sanders' role can't be overstated. Coach Prime has never followed the status quo, whether in his playing career or his coaching career. From NFL to MLB, from college turnarounds to mentoring Shedeur, he understands timing, leverage, and branding. He knows that protecting a young athlete's future isn't just about stats or highlights, it's about opportunities, vision, and positioning. And with this move, Shedeur is already a step ahead of peers who may still be constrained by contracts, injuries, or league politics. Here, what makes this story truly captivating? It's not just basketball or football, it's a blueprint for the modern athlete. A young player today could watch Shedeur's move, understand the global market, and realize that success is no longer limited by geography or tradition. It's about influence, strategy, and courage. Shedeur Sanders isn't just earning millions, he's building a legacy, testing new waters, and proving that bold, unconventional moves often carry the greatest rewards. And let's be honest, the excitement isn't just financial or strategic, it's human. Watching a young athlete confidently take charge of his own story with family support and unwavering self-belief sparks a feeling most fans can relate to. That thrill, that tension, that curiosity, what will he do next, is exactly why this story resonates beyond sports. It's about ambition, foresight, and daring to rewrite the playbook. In the end, Shedeur Sanders' journey to China isn't a gamble, it's a masterclass. It's proof that elite athletes can create their own rules, expand their influence, and secure a lasting legacy on their own terms. The Sanders name isn't just linked to football greatness anymore, it's now synonymous with innovation, bold moves, and the future of athlete empowerment. And the most exciting part, we've only seen the opening chapter. What happens next could redefine sports as we know it, and the world is watching. Shedeur Sanders isn't just stepping onto a court in China, he's stepping into history. And one thing is certain, this trailblazer move is just the beginning.